Welcome back to Scream with me for another movie rant. Um, I want to talk now about a movie, a little gem that I found. Another movie I'd never heard of, didn't know it. When you're trolling International Movie Database, you can just run across all kinds of stuff. And I watched the trailer. I thought it was really interesting. Looked really interesting. I liked the storyline. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I bought it, and it stars Amber Childers, Johnny Pacar, cutie pie, Toby Hemingway, also a cutie pie but a psycho, and another cutie pie that everybody knows, Christian Slater, and it's called Playback. Don't you like the way my light screws everything up? The glare, man, the glare. Playback. Christian Slater doesn't have a huge role in it, but he's there a lot, so it's alright. Still looks good too. This is from 2012. He still looks like he's 21. I mean, it's pretty cool. This movie shocked me. It shocked me because it had kind of a low score on International Movie Database, but when it comes to critics, uh, I'm not exactly a fan of critics, and International Movie Database is troll central. Yeah, I mean, uh, if you're a user of International Movie Database, and I see a lot of people complaining about this particular aspect of it, and that is that, man, all these people on there, if it's not Gone with the Wind or Citizen Kane or something like that, it deserves a 2. I mean, these armchair critics um, are hilarious to me. The stuff that they write. I mean, sure, there's bad movies, but to them, every single movie is like Candy Striped Nurses or something. I mean, their bar for okay is ridiculous. I mean, it's like what the Terminator 2 is like a 5 on there or something. It's hilarious. Uh, if you see a movie that is over 6 on International Movie Database, you're shocked. I mean, that's how ridiculous it is. But anyway, enough on that. Playback. Oh, I was trying to think what kind of movie I would compare it to. A little bit like Doreen series, but at the same time also mixed with maybe The Conjuring. Uh, it's just really strange all the way around. The movie is, it starts out, it caught my attention like right off the bat because when this movie starts, it starts with one of the most intense murder scenes that you would kind of expect in a if you saw this in a horror movie, you would expect it like in the middle or later on to have something so intense. To start off with something like this was pretty, wow, I was like glued to the screen. I was just like, oh my god. So it was a teenage guy, and he was like, he had killed his parents, and he was killing his sister and taking her baby. And I was just like, oh my god, is he going to kill this baby? Is he really going to kill the baby? And you didn't really, but he didn't. And he was killed, and the baby was rescued, and that was the beginning of the movie. So it was like 10 minutes into the movie, you're like going, damn. That was like a lot to take in at the very beginning. No setup here, or that was the setup, yeah. But the setup was so intense that it was like, wow. If the rest of this movie is anything like this, I don't know if I can handle that kind of intensity so quickly. Um, but then it flash forwards like 16, 17 years into the future from that night. And you have the high school, a group of high school friends. Christian Slater plays this pervy cop. And you have these high school kids seniors, and they're doing a movie project, and it turns out they're doing a movie project on that murder that they just showed at the beginning of the movie. So they're doing a movie project, and they're trying to like recreate some of the scenes and recreate the murder. So they're borrowing filming equipment from the local archive, and this young guy who's maybe like 4 or 5 years older than them, and man, he's like a total waster. You know, I mean, he sniffs lighter fluid, pours it onto a rag, and like huffs lighter fluid throughout the whole movie. And you're like, what's that? I never heard of that. I mean, I know everybody is druggies, but good God, I mean, you know, if you're like sniffing lighter fluid off of a rag, there's something really wrong with you. But so the kid, they get really fascinated with this murder from back then, and this guy that they're borrowing the equipment from works at a news studio, archives. He works in the archive section of a news studio. So they ask him if he can go back and find any footage or information on that murder. So he's like, okay. So he does that, and then that's when the Ring and Conjuring kind of like comes in, because there's this whole mythos around this movie about, you know, that belief that taking someone's photograph can steal their soul. Well, it's like a lot worse to film them. So when he does find the footage, it actually shows the murderer in some of the footage, and something is transferred to him, sort of like a possession. He gets possessed from watching the video of the murderer that the news people had happened to have taken. So it turns really interesting. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. I've seen those elements, but I mean, it's pretty a unique movie. The whole little mythos, and they keep it going through the whole movie. Very good storyline, very good acting. It kept me wondering, you know, what was going on, and it got ugly pretty quick, because now this boy becomes possessed. This junkie that, you know, this lighter fluid huffer that works at this place becomes possessed, and you don't really, you know, buy that killer. So he ends up using his power, and the power that he uses is that if you're watching him through video, like you're watching me, but it's live, it's got to be live, not a recording. But if you're watching me, I can put my hand on the screen and possess you and make you like go kill your family or something. It's pretty it's pretty intense. And so once he begins like using his powers, he's really this guy. He's the murderer, and it's been coming down from his bloodline. It's a power that bloodline has, going all the way back to the man who created the first movie, which was Lewis. I can't think of his name. They say it in the movie, but it's true. You can look it up on Google. 1988, he made the first motion picture. It's only 2 seconds long, but so they kind of incorporated that into this fictional mythology, and through his bloodline, he's had the power. Basically saying that was the devil. Lewis Price, I think is his name, and that he was the devil, and that through his bloodline has passed along this power to be able to transfer your soul to your son. So now that's what that boy, it turns out that's what that boy was killing his family for, was to get that baby, because he was adopted. That wasn't really his sister, it was just his adopted sister, and that baby was theirs. And that's what caused the fight that night that he killed them over, was to do that. And he wanted his kid. So now he's possessed this guy, and he's looking for his, you know, and you think the whole time, and this is where the big twist comes in, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. This is a spoiler channel, But you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because this movie shocked the absolute hell out of me as far as how much I liked it. They distracted me so well. And I mean, I give you kudos, man. If you're a director or a writer or a producer and you put together a movie that gets me, I mean, I'm not saying I'm a whiz kid or a badass or anything like that, but I am a movie collector and I have pretty much seen it all. You know what I mean? If you can pull one over on me, I will, I will bow before you. I will do it. And they did. This movie got me because I thought I had it figured out. I mean, I knew I had it figured out. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's cool. I mean, I like the way you did all that, put it all together, man. It all worked perfectly. I knew the answers. I had figured it out. And that's when I'm like, okay, you did it good. You know what I mean? And I'll be damned if I was wrong. I was completely wrong. There was one more step that I had not taken, and they distracted me long enough for me to make up my mind about stuff and not, I didn't get it. And they pulled one over on me because there is a twist right there at the end that when that twist happened, I was like, no. I mean, I see it, yeah, but no, you didn't just do that to me. That was good. That was good. I like that. You did it. Okay. I'll give that to you. So, I love it when a movie does that to me. And this one did that to me, which is why it's one of those rare movies that, I mean, I'll usually go and read the full synopsis on Wikipedia about a movie. I really don't care about spoilers. You can tell me everything. I haven't seen Spiral yet. I already know everything about it. I've already listened to spoiler reviews and shit. I don't care. But there is a few movies, like if someone had spoiled The Crying Game for me, I'd have been pissed. If someone had spoiled Better Watch Out for me, I would have been pissed. Another movie, The Sixth Sense. I mean, if you'd have spoiled that for me, I'd have kicked your ass. I mean, that's just it. I'd have punched you right in the mouth after I got through watching that if you had spoiled that movie for me. So, every once in a while, there's movies that I'm really glad I wasn't spoiled, and I like it when people warn you about that. Hey, if you're okay with spoilers, that's cool, but I wouldn't take a spoiler on this movie, trust me. That's how I didn't spoil Better Watch Out, because I had read a lot of reviews on Better Watch Out, and almost every one of them said, don't go and read nothing about this movie. Go into it blind and you will be very, very happy. And I trusted that because it was other movie fans who were telling me, trust me, man, if you love movies, don't do it. And I didn't do it. And I didn't do it with The Crying Game, and I didn't do it with The Sixth Sense, and I, whatever other one I mentioned. And this one may not, be like, you might not like put this on the same level with The Sixth Sense. I'm not saying it should be. It's a A-, B+ movie, but it is phenomenal. Everything about it. Storyline is great. The kills are great. The mythology behind it is great. Really interesting. I mean, if you make me stop a movie halfway through to go look shit up on Google, you're pretty cool. Because I didn't know about that, that first film, the according to Guinness Book of World Records, it's the oldest surviving piece of film and supposedly the first moving picture ever made. And it's only 2.11 seconds, and this guy did it. His name was Louis Price. And unless I'm wrong, it's Louis something. But all of that's true, and I learned it from this movie. And so if I have to pause a movie and go look shit up because I'm like, okay, that sounds real. are you really telling me something real? So I went and looked it up. Then you've got my interest. You know what I mean? So that was cool. Um, but yeah, Christian Slater is great in this too. He gets whacked in this movie, and he is kind of a little perv. So you, it's not that you like were upset that he got whacked, but at the same time, the way he gets whacked really like made me go, oh, I didn't see that. Oh wow, I wish I hadn't have seen that. Yeah, I mean I'm not a gore porn, enthusiast, so I didn't see that coming, and it was pretty graphic. The kills in this movie are pretty graphic, and say anything else. The last 5 minutes I've just been explaining why I'm not going to tell you the twist, because this is one of those. The Sixth Sense, Crying Game, Better Watch Out, and this is one of those movies. Um, and so usually I would talk about the end because it excited me. Um, to be fooled like that, or distracted, or not get it. So I would like to talk about it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because it's one of those rare movies that if someone had told me the twist in this movie, because they play it off so good, if someone had told me the twist, I wouldn't have liked it. I mean, I would have loved the movie. I'm just saying I wouldn't have liked them spoiling it. It's one of those rare movies that if you had spoiled it for me, I would have been pissed off. So even if you don't mind spoilers, which this channel is going to be nothing but mostly spoilers, because I'm here to discuss a movie, and I'm not a reviewer. I'm not reviewing it for you, and I'm not doing anything but just talking about movies that I love. So there's going to be spoilers because that's what I want other people to do too, is talk to me about these movies if they've seen them or they go and see them. But every once in a while, you'll probably, like when I do a video on Better Watch Out, you're not going to get it. And I'm not going to do that to a movie that I would have cared about having it spoiled. I'm not going to do that. But rest assured, that's very few. This is one of them, though. Playback, 2012, Christian Slater, Johnny Pacar. Find it. It's pretty cheap on, I think I got it brand new for like $5 or $6 or something out on eBay. So, or however you watch movies. But yeah, 2012, Christian Slater, Playback, and creepy as hell. Good movie, really good movie, really surprised me. It's one of those movies when I turned it off, I was like, that was fucking good. That was a good movie. And like right now I'm looking and it says 4.2 on International Movie Database, and I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, pathetic. But then again, you also have to understand with the rise of torture porn and stuff like that the general intelligence level of the general population has just like steadily creeped down pretty much with every fucking Saw release. And now it's just, if you don't have like naked girls in bathtubs with people's brains, or Human Centipede, which, if you like that movie, you need mental help, that's all I gotta say. Call me whatever you want to, I don't care. But yeah, so I think that where horror movies are concerned, there's a lot of that going on, and we can fight about that if you want to. I don't give a shit. I'll tell the truth. It's my opinion. And but this movie right here is not 4.2. I gave it, I would give it. I wish that they had percentages, like 7.5, 8. Instead they do it 1 through 10. And I gave it a 7, but the truth is, like if you could point it, it would be like a 7.5, 7.6 to me. because this is a badass movie, and if you can pull one over on me, you're good. And this movie pulled one over on me, and I was left sitting with my mouth open, going, "I didn't see that coming." I mean, because you pretty much gave it to me, and I took it, and you were lying, is what it was. You were telling me a big old fib, because that wasn't true, and you then was, "Oh, I didn't tell you that." You know, 'cause I'm sure the director would be like, "I didn't tell you that." I'm like, "Yeah, but you made it look like it. I mean, that's what I thought." It's like, well, that was your business. You know, you think what you want, but it didn't turn out to be what you thought it was, did it? And it's like, no, it didn't. It didn't. And I appreciate that. I like being, every once in a while to have something, kind of let me know that I can still be surprised. And movie addicts like me and you, if you're watching this, we're a challenge to directors, to actors, to writers, to producers. We're the challenge, not some idiot who sees 3 movies a year and can't watch nothing but Marvel comic movies, or has no like distinct taste or variety or something. It's us, movie fanatics, horror fanatics, whatever genre it is, cinema buffs, cinema nuts, people who's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of DVDs and Blu-rays. We are their challenge. You know, pull one over on me, scare me, scream, make me scream. Torture porn, I don't care about. It's like I'm with Scream 4. You know that chick? It's my favorite saying. I want to get it put on a T-shirt that says, "That's not scary, that's just gross," and put Scream 4 underneath it. I mean, I would love a T-shirt like that, because that's exactly the way I feel. That is my favorite quote of the last decade or two. If I had to choose a favorite quote from anyone about anything, it would be, "That's not scary, that's just gross," and from Scream 4, and that's the way I feel about it. But yeah, pick up Playback and enjoy it, because I think you will enjoy it, and I think that you will be fooled at the end too. But alright, I will see you later, and keep screaming.